4.5D. I'm still on page number 296, where we just did the geometry problem, example 3. And we're going to continue on. If you look at the bottom of page 296, it gives you in green some facts from geometry on how to label triangles and the sum of the angles in a triangle. If you remember from maybe some basic geometry a long time ago, if you add up all the angles in a triangle, they will all add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So if this is 60 and this is 60, that's 120. You know this one has to be 60 as well to give you 180 degrees. Every single triangle adds up to 180 degrees. Also, as far as labeling triangles, there's a certain way that they're labeled, and that is all of the angles get capital letters. All of the vertices, the angles. That means that all of the sides get lowercase letters. Now, as far as labeling these sides, this one's B, capital B. That means the side opposite it would be lowercase b. Capital B here, opposite would be lowercase c, which looks the same as uppercase. A here, the opposite would be lowercase a. So that's the correct labeling of a triangle. So as we go into some of these triangles here, good to know that bit of information. Alright, so example 4, page 297. The angles in a triangle are such that one angle is twice the smallest angle, while the third angle is 3 times as large as the smallest angle. Find the measure of all 3 angles. Okay, read it rather fast, so let's see what in the world we're doing. First of all, let's find out what we know the least information about. The angles in a triangle are such that one angle is twice the smallest angle. Okay, so what do we know the least about? We know that one angle is twice the smallest angle. So we know nothing about the smallest angle, but we know that one of the other angles is twice that. The third angle is 3 times as large as the smallest angle. Again, the third angle is 3 times bigger than the smallest. So we're comparing everything to the smallest angle in the triangle. So let's draw a triangle there. This one is the smallest, and then the next one, and then the largest. So we know the least bit of information about the smallest, so let's call the smallest angle x. So x is the smallest angle. So let's compare the other angles to the smallest angle here. So one angle is twice the smallest angle. So this angle here, or this one, we don't really know, but one of them is twice that. So this one is not going to be x, it's going to be twice x. While the third angle is 3 times as large as the smallest angle. This angle then is going to be 3 times as big as x. So this one's x, 2x, 3x. Find the measure of all 3 angles. Well, remember when I drew the triangle up here earlier, I said if we add up all the angles, we're going to get 180 degrees. So if we add up x plus 2x plus 3x, we're going to get 180 degrees. So that ends up being our equation. It will always be 180 degrees when we start adding those angles up. So let's add up like terms here. We've got x's in all of these, so we can add these up. So we get 6x equals 180 degrees. We divide by our 6, and we get x equals 30 degrees. The degree sign looks like that. So we get 30 degrees. That's part of our solution, because it's asking us in the equation, find the measure of all 3 angles. We only found the measure of that angle. So this one's 30. Well, this one's twice 30, so this one's 60. Your little degree sign. And this one's 3 times 30, so this is 90. So if this is 30, 60, 90, 30 degrees plus 60 degrees is 90. 90 plus 90 is 180, and that works because when we add up all 3 angles, we get 180 degrees. Okay. So the next section in here is called age problems. So we're doing 3 different types of problems in this section. One of them being geometry problems, which we just did. The first section being just number problems, and the third part, C298, is called age problems. So let's look at example 5. Joanne is 22 years older than her daughter Stacy. In 6 years, the sum of their ages will be 42. How old are they now? Question is, when will I ever use this? Answer, never. But it does help you to learn manipulation and logic and to think through how things are put together. So, Joanne is 22 years older than her daughter Stacy. In 6 years, the sum of their ages will be 42. What do we know the least about? We know the least about Stacy's age. So we're going to assign X to Stacy. And what do we know about Joanne? That Joanne is 22 years older than Stacy. So if that's the case, she's going to be 22 years older than X. 6 years from now, the sum of their ages will be 42. So, in 6 years, the sum of their ages will be 42. Okay, so what do we know? Joanne is 22 years older than Stacy. In 6 years from now, their ages will add to 42. So what we don't know is we don't know their ages now. Alrighty, so we know now she's X, and now she's X plus 22. In 6 years, how old is Stacy going to be? Well, she's going to be X plus 6 years. Joanne will be this age plus 6 years. X plus 22 plus another 6 years. Or you could just write this as X plus 28. But I wrote it there just so you saw where it came from. So this is how old they're going to be now plus 6, now plus 6 in 6 years. And the question says, in 6 years, the sum of their ages will be 42. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Stacy's age in 6 years, the sum of their ages, so we're going to add, and let's just change this to X plus 28, add those 22 plus 6 together. So in 6 years, the sum of their ages will be 42. How old are they now? Okay, so now we can start adding things that we know that are common. We've got an X there and an X there, so we have 2 X's. We can add our 6 and our 28 together and get 34, and that equals 42. Now we just start solving. Minus 34, minus 34. It gives me 2X equals 42 minus 34, which is 8. And then we divide by 2. So X is 4. So Stacy, if we look up at what X equals, is 4 years old. Joanne then is 4, right here, plus 22. So Stacy's 4. Joanne is is 4 plus 22, so Joanne is 26. Okay? Well, let's check this. If we take Stacy's age and add 6 to it, so 4 plus 6 is 10, and we take Joanne's age, 26, and add 6 to it, that's 32. And it said in 6 years, the sum of their ages is going to be 42. Let's see if that's the case. Yes. In 6 years, when Stacy's 10, in 6 years when Joanne's 32, you add their ages up and you get 42. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And that's pretty much it. I go over any examples that'll just be redundant going on with what we just did. The problems that you've got in the homework are just like the ones we did on the board, so it shouldn't give you too much trouble. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and shut the video off now.